I'm finna whip this hoe. Well, boys, the age of the Scar is over. Just kidding, no, it's not. The Scar 15P is going to stay in production per FN's most recent Instagram post. There is a lot of buzz around whether or not the guns are going to continue to exist. Obviously, the legacy models, as they're referring to them, of the 16, the 17, and the 20 are going away, but the entire military line of products is still going to stay in production for their more important and higher paying customers. Don't blame them for that at all. Businesses have to make decisions that make them money, so go ahead and do you, FN. But it remains to be seen whether or not we are going to continue to get our hands on Scars. Some people are celebrating this, some people are upset. I don't own a Scar. This is on loan to me. My buddy Adam has very graciously provided me a space to shoot, ammo to shoot, and a gun to shoot with all of the fixings that I did not bring a single one of. So this is a very nice Gucci, very not budget build. Though I don't own my own personal 300 Blackout firearm and I have very limited experience with it, I am excited to give this guy a try. Adam, what has been your experience with the gun so far? How have you liked it?
I've liked it a lot. I use it primarily as a truck gun or in my side-by-side when I'm out rolling around. They're great for killing pests around the ranch. Obviously great for home defense. Not a big issue up in rural Idaho. If it does, it's well equipped.
Yeah.
And
why am I wearing my ears? So what exactly are we shooting today? This is a 300 Blackout Scar 15P. It is the pistol version of the Scar SC platform that they have that they sell exclusively to the military. That is the subcompact 7-inch barrel full auto version of this gun that we have here. It is, if I'm not mistaken, the only 300 Blackout offering in the Scar line of firearms, sized accordingly. The Scar 16 does not have a 300 Blackout offering, and it is a 16-inch barrel. They're just long, big guns. It makes more sense to have them in 5.56. So we have a Unity riser with a Unity mount for the EOTech products, the Danger Close EOTech here in tan, as well as the 3x magnifier. We're running 200 grain sub Magtec 300 Blackout with a Holostone Iris and a Silencer Co. Omega9k. Now, obviously, this is not a 300 Blackout can. It is sized to be able to shoot something like 300 Blackout, but there are better dedicated 300 Blackout cans out there. This is chosen specifically for truck gun use. I imagine throwing a longer can on this would make a little less sense for you. There's a trade-off with using something like a 9mm can instead of a dedicated 300 Blackout can, and I think as we'll find out with shooting it, I'm gonna go ahead and take the first couple rounds on the gun without ears on, using the subs with this Omega9k to see kind of how comfortable it actually is to shoot. This is a 15P VPR model. They ship these guns to the dealers with a vertical Picatinny rail here on the back so that you can either attach a brace system if you don't want to register it as an SBR, or you can put on this buffer attachment system here where we have this B5 stock on it instead of having a normal Scar stock or a pistol brace. And it takes 5.56 mags. We're using standard 5.56 P mags here. In your experience, they've run great?
I've had little to no issues with them. You do got to load them one less.
Yeah.
But other than that, they run pretty well.
I don't load my 5.56 mags to 30. I think it's probably more a skill issue that I don't load my 30 rounders to full capacity, but it's really nice to not have to smack my magazine a few extra times to get it to load. Whatever. Ooh, what's that one? Little known fact about today's videographer, this is my buddy Adam. We met in Texas, he's a good buddy of mine, and he actually helped me manual swap my Nissan Stagea, the one that's in the other videos you guys have seen so far. So thanks for all the free labor you've given me over the years that compensated you with pizza and beer, and now he's filming for free.
Suckered me. And here I thought I was the criminal.
My ears. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot it without ears, as I've been informed by Adam here that it is comfortable enough to shoot with the Omega9k. We're using Magtec 200 grain subs here. We'll go ahead and give this a rip and see how it feels. Yeah, my ears are not ringing compared to Supers, so yeah, good enough. One thing I hadn't mentioned yet was the recoil impulse on the gun. It's been a very pleasant shooting experience. It's really kind of all I have to say about that. All A zones. Yeah.
Homie's Fent leading with a scar. What a flex.
So why have I chosen to do a video on this gun? I think it fits in that niche of subgun kind of platform of firearms that I have a weird fixation with. It is probably one of the newer production firearms that I'll be doing a video on for a while, at least in this category of firearms. This gun also has a pretty storied history of making some appearances in pop culture things like video games. I personally grew up playing Modern Warfare 2, and the SCAR being a very big part of that as well. I think it was for you as well, Adam.
Correct.
Taking the lead. Enemy emergency airdrop incoming. Take care package incoming. Show us where you want it.
Silhouette of this gun is a very unique one as well. It doesn't get more blocky. It doesn't get more Minecraft of a gun. I like my guns how I like my coffee. Without in it. Me and my weak little noodle arms, recoil mitigation and weight for firearms is always a big problem for me. And I think the 15P with overall dimensions being a little shorter than the standard SCAR platforms and all of the fixings on the gun as it sits, this is a perfectly comfortable and workable firearm, especially for a skinny guy like me. With a holographic on here, I think it's too drippy to ignore. I think it's kind of a requirement almost to have the EOTech on here. Plus it fits the aesthetic of the gun. I mean, it doesn't get blockier than an EOTech either. I need my Arizona to calm me down. I still do have an EOTech on my main AR platform that I use. Most of the time that I go out to the range, I do bring that gun, but it doesn't even have a magnifier on it because I shoot within 50 to 100 yards most of the time anyway. That's probably more to do with the fact that I just don't go out and shoot. I wouldn't put an LPVO on this gun, but having a base magnification of 1 with a high quality, expensive optic like Razor HD Gen 3, they perform extraordinarily well. Certainly to say that I'd rather have a larger sight picture like this EOTech on a short gun like this. So no LPVO for this gun, but EOTechs do look a lot better. They work great. I'm not gonna use phrases like room clearing and CQB stuff because 99% of people watching this video are not doing things like that. So as it applies to people like us, home defense. I would much rather have a holographic, a large sight picture optic like this to be using for home defense rather than an LPVO. But on something like a SCAR 16, 17, anything longer than that, it's nice to be able to use a lot of good LPVOs out there as red dots, you know, bringing it all the way down to a 1x magnification and being able to see everything as if it wasn't magnified. Like I used to have a Razor HD Gen 3 on one of my guns before, and it was great. I don't know why I sold it. Nonetheless, it's always, I think, a use case dependent thing, deciding on what optics and things you want to run on your guns. I would assume the reason that they're not producing the legacy models anymore is because of lacking sales and or in anticipation of releasing newer models.
Well, yeah, and you also got to keep in mind, like, most average guys aren't dropping 4Gs on a rifle.
Yeah.
It's purely because you want it.
Yeah.
There's no need here.
You compare it to something like the MR556, which costs $4,000 retail. I mean, I would argue that that gun is worth every penny that you spend on that, but most people aren't going to go spend $4,000 on a gun. Like, out of the box, that's it. Doesn't come with any other accessories, and it costs $4 grand.
If you have an 800 credit score, buy a SCAR. You're the target market.
Yeah. This is a lot of to have on a gun in general.
And especially a smaller gun. If you have night vision, optics, laser, suppressor. Like those are going on every gun no matter what. Flashlight, give or take.
A lot of getting put on a gun. Gun's already heavy, and so that is a variable that you would have to consider when it comes to buying a platform like the SCAR. MR556 is a $4,000 gun that I think is worth every penny out of the box, but $4,000 goes a long way for the average person, and as much as a salesman at a gun counter could tell somebody how great the MR556 is, you can spend half that on a gun, the other half of it on ammo. At the same time, that money has to go somewhere. If you're gonna be buying accessories anyway, you're gonna be into this gun $6,000, $7,000 by the time that you're done with it, with your can, with your optic, your riser, or whatever setup you have for your optic. And hobbies are expensive enough as they are. Life is expensive enough as it is, and so when it comes to trying to justify a $4,000 sticker price on a gun, it does get difficult. So this is a fun money gun. And as far as that's concerned, when it comes to justifying the price on a fun money gun, it's kind of hard to say no. I'm sold on it. I mean, I had a great experience shooting this one. Again, Adam, I do really appreciate you having me out here to film with your gun and your ammo and everything. You know, it's just invoice me.
You're not even doing it for money yet.
I'm not even doing this for money. I don't get paid. I am going into debt right now. I have like 10 missed calls from the bank. Overdrawn accounts and credit limits and all that stuff that I don't understand. I'm gonna start my own with blackjack and hookers.